Hey y'all. So it's not 100%, but what house ever is. You can see right here that my front door still needs another coat or two, but it's going to be good enough to show you on this quick little video tour. And some of y'all have been waiting for a while, so here we go. Well, this little mirror stand here was actually an alley pick from Nashville. I used to professionally pick in Philadelphia, but I really haven't picked in Nashville. But that was just a find that I happened to make. And it's my little sailboat wiffle ball lamp right there. And you can kind of see my front porch is still a staging area for construction and leftovers and whatnot. We'll get that all cleaned up and put a porch swing out there in the spring. There's Miss Elsa. And here is my primary focal wall. It's a tiled built-in electric fireplace and the mantle. This was what you euphemistically call a steep learning curve. I mean, I didn't do it myself, but I learned a lot about having it done. I can tell you that. So one of the things that I'm still waiting for, one of the little percentages that's still left, is some picture frames so that I can actually hang things like this collage here that my brilliant friend Chriso did out of security envelope patterns. And so now he's just getting ready to see for the first time that he's got pride of place here. But I just thought, what better for the focal point of my house than to have the theme of security. And these two little clay gargoyles are from my mom. She made them. She's done quite a lot of ceramics over the years. These are actually fairly unrefined for her, but she's also a very fine woodworker. I get all my creativity from her. So a couple of my made up trophies, and here's a basket I made out of drinking straws and zip ties. So it's my straw basket. Haha. Let's see. Oh, over here. Yep, over here we've got it's kind of an interesting, sort of crudely done inlaid table that I found at a local antique mall here. And this piece is done by this really kind of wackadoo visionary guy that I actually bought almost all of my trophies from. He found me at a street fair here and saw my trophies and said, "Oh, I've got a bunch of trophies to sell you." So I started buying stuff from him, and his apartment was just full of these drawings and paintings and whatnot. So I bought this from him because I just thought how great it would go with this table here. And this painting over here, which I also bought from a friend in Nashville, AJ Jackson, which is also waiting for a frame, he's also a self-taught artist. And so this is visionary self-taught artist. And then there's my drawing. I am not self-taught. And then Chriso over here is also self-taught. So the three primary artworks that are not my own were all self-taught artists, which wasn't really an intentional plan, but when I realized that that's what was happening, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So my living room and some artwork stuff. This bench that my great friend Rochelle found for me, just a perfect little thing to fit underneath this drawing, and it's just the right size for this little wall. So this little living room actually has a fair amount of occasional seating and little mousies and little sticks of dynamite there, catnip dynamite that they love. there's their little puzzle feeders. And so then, let's see, let's back up here. So there's 2 of my archways, which my contractor, early on in the process, when this house was still gutted to the studs and we were doing our first walkthroughs, he volunteered to do these archways, which, you know, you wouldn't get that in too many starter home flips, but he did them, so that was fun. This house was actually built in the 1950s. This is really more of what I would think like a 30s, 40s architectural touch, but I wasn't going to turn down character. So now we're into my Sherwin-Williams Vibrant Lilac kitchen and sunroom dining area. So we got my double porcelain sink, my little coffee area, little wine storage, painting. This is actually a most recent art purchase. Kind of reminded me of Coral. I just saw it at this tiny little gallery in Nashville, and already knowing what the color of this room was going to be, I was like, oh, this would be cool. And you know, it has kind of a water theme, which I thought would be fun to have near the sink. So there's that. My sink window, east facing, which I really like. They were actually going to put the sink originally over here where the stove is, because that's the shared wall of my bathroom, and I guess they were just gonna, you know, make it easy on themselves to tie into the drain. But I was like, this kitchen has a window, and you know, that's where the sink belongs, so I had them put it over there. But these cabinets are, you know, the way everything's configured, these cabinets really give me more space than I can currently use. I opened up some of these cabinets and showed you, you know, there's plenty of room. So that's great. I mean, this is a tiny little house. It's a little less than 800 square feet, but it has some remarkable storage capacity. I could use a little bit more space for other things, for general living, but for storage, it's actually pretty amazing what I've got in this house. So there you go. That's my kitchen. I love these little handles. So there's that. There's my little bar area. And then we come through to the little sunroom dining room. There's a little stackable washer dryer in there, a little kitty litter area for the moment until they really acclimate and get used to their usual indoor-outdoor life. So obviously east facing, just like the sink wall, and then this is south facing, so it really gets a lot of light. It's a really bright, fun room to be in, and my friend Rochelle did most of the painting in here, which was very, very nice, very generous gesture. Really helped me a lot to push the house forward. Look at a little table, little chairs, and here's the kitty door that was just recently put in, and they're just starting to use a little bit. They tend to go out a little bit more at night. I think maybe they feel a little bit more secure at the moment going out at night. And then there's a little back deck, and let's see, you can just, let's see, hold on the door. So you can just see right there, that little spindly stick right there is a pussy willow that I got as a tiny little cutting from my mom and dad, from their place up in Virginia. And it's doing very well there, and I cannot wait for spring and summer, and I'll start putting some garden beds back here, and then there's a little planting area, you know, here between the driveway that I don't use and the house, and I just want to plant tons of sunflowers. there. So that'll be really nice to look at later on this summer. There's a little hand-painted diner sign. That's another Philadelphia street pick. So eventually in the next year or two, I want to put on a very small little extension, like an 8-foot extension, because I don't want to eat up it's a small yard anyway. I don't want to eat up a lot of space, but it would give me a proper little dining area. I would extend the deck as well, which would allow me to flip this door forward and then take all of that space basically up to the door and create a really sizable closet. And that would just be, tons of extra storage space for the house, which I think would be very attractive to any future buyer or tenant depending on what I want to do with it. So one of the great things about this house is that it actually has 2 layers of sheathing. So it was built in 1950, like I said, and it's got the old diagonal run exterior plank sheathing, but the contractor came in from the inside, and in between all the exterior stud bays, he sandwiched in 1/2-inch plywood and then spray foamed all the seams all the way around. So not only is the house very tight from a climate control point of view, it also feels very still. Like you really get the sense of stillness, and it's quite a bit quieter than the house would have been otherwise. So did I mention this? My drawing here. And so here's a little bit more of my artwork. This is a fun little kind of tiny little hallway, passageway. I have a full-size attic door, which they were just going to give me a little portway. But my friend Rochelle said, make them put in an attic door. So I did. And I had a lot of fun painting all the trim in here, and it really kind of defines the space in a very interesting way. And this little laundry hamper, there's an on-demand electric on-demand water heater in there, and then a few shelves for linens and leftover toiletries. Still plenty of space in there for stuff. Here's my bathroom. I got a very nice shower enclosure with the sliding glass doors, and I did it all in this wraparound iron ore paint. It's the same as the trim that runs through the house. So it's a fun little space. The kind of faux slate porcelain tile. But then this little bookshelf area here, when they were configuring the HVAC return, there was all this leftover space, and I was like, let's put some shelves in here. And I pretty much immediately thought, it's like, oh wow, you know what? I could free up some room in the house by getting rid of my bookshelf, because all of my books would probably cram into here. I got a lot of art books and some other books. But I really thought that I was going to be cramming it in. But there's still plenty of space. I could have more books. So, it's great. And then come over here into my studio / guest room. And I have this gray wall here for shooting future drawings on. And here's a new drawing. I just got started doing the first drawing in this house. So that's fun. And I put up a bunch of my recent trophy stuff in here. Get it off the wall, keep it out of storage, make it a fun room. And there's a little closet in there, which is crammed full. But there's still tons of space in there. A drawing table, a lamp, dumbbells. And then into my room. And I can't tell you how fun it is to wake up in this room. I just had the barnwood wall and the fireplace and the kitty door kind of all went in the space of a couple of days. I had this great handyman come in and finish all this up for me. And I just cannot tell you how fun it is to wake up in this room. I have had this room in one form or another in my head for a long time. Just, a room. It wasn't going to be my bedroom originally, but a room that had all of my animal art up in it at one time. And it's just, it's really a balm for the soul. If I'm having a restless night, I'm thinking about the mortgage or whatever, or, oh my God, what have I done? I just bought this house. What am I doing? Just like opening up my eyes and just being in this space, it really just does me a world of good. And there's Mrs. Wags, who also does me a world of good, taking a little nap. And my closet, which is, it's really fairly small, but when I had them put 2 hangers in, there's an upper and a lower, and I was a little bit worried that, all of my hanging clothes were going to be really tight in there, but, if I wanted to buy more clothes, which I don't, I could, because there's more room in there. So, pretty interesting. Here's my my faux cowhide rug, which I've been looking forward to installing for a while. I think it's just a fun little touch. So that's my animal room, and I think that's really that's it. I've been having a lot of fun for the most part. Settling in and just, this new environment has really changed things for the cats as well. And I've just been so happy to watch them just settle in, and they're very content. And because they're still kind of transitioning to being, indoor and not so much outdoor, they play with each other differently. They interact a whole lot more. They play with toys a whole lot more. They want me to play with them a whole lot more. It's been really just kind of fun to watch. Like, I knew that there would be behavioral changes, but it's even been more than I could have would have thought. So on that note, I'll say I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's been worth the wait. Bye.